Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Clay from Clay's Collections, and we have an estate sale haul today. It was one of those things where you're flipping through the Facebook marketplace and boop, up pops one of those little tiles telling you that there's an estate sale. It's a $10 a bag sale. So it happened to be on New Year's Day. And I thought, well, it's either going to be packed or it won't be. And I liked what the pictures they had, because they said they have thousands of books and a lot of vintage items, glassware. So I was like, okay, I'll wake up and see how I feel on New Year's Day. Not that I was drinking the night before, but, see if I was in the mood to go. And I woke up and I was in the mood to go. So Cindy and I went. We had a great time. It was a house that had been in only two families for like 80 years. And I don't know if they were related or not, but they had the house full of books. Now, this actually ended up being their third and final sale, which I had no idea. Otherwise, it would have been fun to go to the first sale. But, so we went and we bought 3 bags. So that's $30 worth of items, almost all books, but they're fabulous books. And so I go by, when I'm looking for stuff, I go more by instinct than I do by phone. And so many people, like when we got there, they said they started at noon, but they opened up to anybody whenever they came. So we got there at 1:45 and there are already people going through stuff, which is fine. But I saw a number of people going through the books with their phones, scanning them, everyone sorting through them. I'm like, that's definitely a way to find the most valuable books to be able to put on Amazon, or that they're worth so much money. But it's not how I shop. I just look at it and I go, yeah, that looks like a good book. Actually, Cindy found this one. I said, yes, I really like that. Now, this particular book, I'm just going to hop right into this haul at this point. It's called Have a Nice Day. It is a pop-up book, but it's not really a pop-up book. But it does say for adults, and not that there's anything risque about it. But it's more of one of these sideways slide books than a pop-up book. So like this, it's brushing teeth. I think it's hilarious. So anyway, there's different ones like that, like with Granny falling down the potty. So just different silly things. And it was pretty dirty. Most of the books were very dusty. They had not been cleaned for a long time. But this particular book is I got a price of $25 on it. It's pretty rare. There's only a couple of them out there. And, I could ask more for it, but again, this one almost pays for our entire trip. So, well, as far as the whole lot, I got a total of 68 books all total, in case you're curious, for $30, which makes them less than 50 cents a book, which is my goal, to keep my cost at 50 cents a book or below. But depending upon the book, sometimes I'll spend more, but that's my overall, plan. We'll see if my voice will get through this. All right. This one, again, I love the cover. It's called Beside the Bonnie Briar Bush by Ian McClellan. Great book, great edition of this particular book. I have it marked at $50. It's from 1894, is the copyright, 1895. So just a great book. It's got some condition issues. Otherwise, I'd be asking more for it, but it had some debris on the front. I don't know what it was. It was kind of stuck, but I got that scraped off, but it still left a white stain on the binding. So, but yeah, and the spine isn't bad either. So that was a great find. Okay, this one, A Big Ball of String. I got a number of children's books and adult books, and there was one very surprising book. And he said that they actually had a book dealer come in first and look at all of them to see if he'd be interested in buying everything. And he wasn't. He just picked a couple books and that was all. So that's why they were trying to sell them, and this was their last ditch effort. And there were a lot of books being taken off the shelves and going. So I'm sure they did really well in the end. But this particular book, A Big Ball of String, children's book from 1958. It's a first edition of this particular book, and most of them have blue print. This one has red print on the cover, so it's a little rarer cover, and I have $25 on this book. So right away you can see the value of the books was incredible, and that they had, I think, because there was a number of people, but definitely collectors of books, because there are a number of first editions, children's books as well as adult books, in fairly good condition, most of them. There are some that are a little sketchy, but I have to show you this guy. He needs a little clean, but this little yarn Santa, isn't he just adorable? Needs a little clean, but he was one I picked up too. And then Cindy found this. It's a bookmark. It's advertising Minot Laundry Dry Cleaners, Minot, North Dakota. But yeah, they just attached this piece of fabric to the top, and you can use it as a bookmark. I thought that was brilliant. So again, we just threw it in the bag. It was $10 for the bag, no matter what you threw in there. They didn't care if it was books or glassware or whatever. So I'm going to hold on to that one for a moment. Okay. One of the first things I found when I went in was this stack of vintage children's books. These are first editions, early editions. Like this is the 1950 version of Puss in Boots. And see, a lot of these I already have priced. This one I have priced only at $5, but it's not the most valuable, but we'll get to that one. Here's Lassie's Long Trip. This one's in, the spine in particular is in bad condition, but the rest of the book is in good condition. And I only put $2 on that just because the spine's all toast. Lucinda the Donkey. Again, another 1952 edition. Hansel and Gretel. This one is in fabulous condition. Golden book. First edition. I have $7.50 on it. That's what I'm going to sell it for at the Pink Elephant, which is where I sell all of my goods now. I don't do any online sales. So this one, The Wonder Book of Trains, has some old medical tape on there, but it's working. It's holding it together. So Bedtime Stories, another great early edition, 1942 first edition. So, and then The Taxi That Hurried. This one's not in very good shape. It's missing its backboard. But the most exciting children's book was this one, Little Black Sambo. This is a very popular book. It's very collectible, especially the early editions. This originally was, I believe, the first edition of the book came out in the doesn't say on here, but I believe it came out in the early 1900s. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it came out in the little books in 1948, and this is the 1948 first edition of the Little Golden Books version of Little Black Sambo. So it could be quite valuable. I have this one priced at $50. So I saw some listed at $75, but that's definitely a great deal. The other thing is, at this particular sale, is the people were Swedish. So there were a good number of Swedish books, which got fly away here. Not that I have much to fly away, but they so there's a whole bunch of Swedish books that I picked up. Not that I can read them, but I just like them and picked them up accordingly. Like this one is Little Lena Luthor. That's what it's. That Lila is actually Little. 1918 book. This one, and again, a lot of these are in really, really good shape considering the age, just a little dusty. Dictor. And what I do is I use Google Translate. So I just hold the camera up to the book and it will translate any language and tell you the English words. I should say most languages, not any language. This one, Kerr Calendar. That's the current calendar, is what that stands for. This is an 1896 book. And so it's just like daily readings, stuff like that. Love the cover on this. Look at this. She's a weaver. Weaving on the book. Yeah, I wrote down what all these were, but I didn't put it inside the book yet. Augustana Book Concern. This is actually 25 years of the Augustana Publishing Company. So this lists the things they published from 1889 to 1914. I thought that was cool. I love these kind of covers. It's another beautiful book. And this one, this Augustana Book Company was based out of Rock Island, Illinois. So a number of these books are from that Augustana Book Company. Here's another one. Yes, the Dagdropar, I think. This is called Dewdrop, is how that translates. I love that. Minyohan, I believe that's something John. Mr. John? I don't remember. Anyway. So a lot of these I bought because I love the covers. This one is an old book that has a bunch of papers, letters in it as well. So, we've got that one. All right, I'll just breeze through these pretty quick. A couple other little blue books. Again, so many of these were in great shape. I love the cover on this one. And then there were these books, which are yearly books. So I have 1917, 1927, and 1913. So those are fun books. And all right, I did get more of the Swedish books, but I'm not going to go through those with you. That's a good sampling of what we had. So I picked up this one. It's called Constructive Talks to Pivot Men. And what this is actually, it's a binder to put these leadership brochures, lessons, whatever you want to call them. The Pivot Man's Influence and Opportunities in Business. So I love the binder. It's a beautiful binder. Love the little publications that they put out. Tack-footed. In self-defense. You know, these aren't put in the binder yet. These were just loose, but I just thought they were kind of fun. And this book too is worth, 25 to 30 bucks. Okay, this is the most surprising find. All right, let's just cover it. I don't need to put it off till later. So, when I said earlier that I just go off of gut level feeling, I saw this and most people would just pass this up. It's a book. It has this kind of wax paper, parchment paper sleeve on the outside to protect it. Then it says television show business, Judy Dupuy, something. And then I opened it up and I saw it's from 1950, I think, 1949, 1950. Anyway, it came with this letter. This letter is super interesting. It says, from General Electric Company, Electronics Department, July 12, 1949. Although television programming and production has been advancing at breakneck speed in the last few years, many of the basic principles employed in the pioneer days of TV are still used today. The attached handbook, Television Show Business, is a study of General Electric's TV station at Schenectady, New York. It is the story of WRGB's first 5 years of actual telecasting operations, 5 years of ups and downs, encouragements and disappointments, but 5 years of continuous operation with 950 shows televised. We are sending you this handbook because we feel that you will not only find it an excellent reference book, but also interesting reading. It contains much valuable information that will help you better understand the problems of television broadcasting. Now, it doesn't say who it was sent to, but it was probably sent to, the heads of television departments or up-and-coming radio, television departments throughout the country. So it's a document that, explains their first 5 years of television broadcasting, what went well, what went bad, how to set up scenes, different settings. It's really fascinating book. I leafed through it. But these are the kind of things you don't want to pass up because, number one, it's the early days of television, right? When we were just learning about it. Television had yet to hit everybody's house back in the late 40s. I know my grandparents, I believe, bought their first TV in either 1948, 49, right around this time. And they were one of the first in their area to get a TV. So yeah. But this book, there's only one available at the moment. It's listed for $750. This book is in almost perfect condition. This sleeve has a few little holes in it, but the book itself is excellent, plus the letter, which really adds the value to this book. So this was my surprise find. I thought, maybe $50 to $100. I had no idea that it could be that much. So that was my exciting find. I was super surprised. All right, History's Greatest War. This is probably the worst conditioned book I picked up. It's in pretty bad shape, but we'll give it some attention and love, but it's got a great front cover to it. This is talking about World War I. Then these were almost the first things I picked up. I knew they were going to be good. And they are Workers of the Nation volumes 1 and 2. Many times 2-set volumes like these are valuable. I believe this is from 1903. Yep, these are 1903 editions. One page never got cut. I don't know how that happened, but that's not a bookmark or anything. That's an actual edge of the paper that never got cut off in the binding process. And so these are worth like $150 for the set. So when I found those right off the bat, I knew it was going to be a good day at the estate sale. All right, another one, The Ovid with Vocabulary. This is a book talking about elucidated by an analysis and explanation of the fables, together with English notes, historical, mythological, and critical, and illustrated by pictorial refreshments. It's the 4 books of the Metamorphoses of Publius Ovidius Naso. There you go. From 1884. So again, this book is valuable book. Can't tell you exactly how much, but off the top of my head, but I think it was like $30 to $40. Great find. This was another great find. This is called the Blue Jackets Manual, 1940. This is a Navy training manual from 1949. It has the person's name engraved in it. Oh, it's even got a little postcard in here. Postcard correspondence. United States Navy Great Lakes. Summer bag layout. Oh, how to lay out your summer bag with all your supplies. That's interesting. That's probably worth some money by itself. I'll have to look that one up. That's the other fun thing about buying books. You never know what you're going to find in the inside of them. So anyway, this is a $40 to $50 manual. All right. This one's very interesting. Children's book, Pippin in the South Seas. This one has its dust jacket. The dust jacket is in very good condition with just a little bit of condition issues along the edges, but the cover is, as you can see, quite bright and beautiful. The book itself is in pristine condition. Absolutely beautiful. There's only, this is the first edition. There's only one book of this that I can find available. There might be more. I'm just saying what I found when I did a quick look. And it was listed for $65. It was not this very first printing, and it did not have the dust jacket. So I don't know what makes this particular version that valuable, but something does. So that could be a $75 to $100 book. And I just sold I had a first edition of Charlotte's Web that I sold for $90. So these children's books, earlier first editions, are worth a lot of money. Okay, this particular one, The New Sound, yes, it's called. This is about the new sound of the 1960s and the bands. Here's all about the new sound, baby. Is it the what, who, and why of rock and roll? So yes, so this is a book on the bands of the 1960s. And what 1966 is when this was published. I was like, when is this from? Again, $40 book. So you can see the profit is phenomenal. In fact, without the television manual, I figured we're around $900 in retail sales without the television book, which 750 to whatever, 800 for that book. So for a $30 investment to walk away with almost $1,500 worth of, or over $1,500 worth of sales is incredible. And again, this was just gut. I really had no idea how much these were worth. So I guess I got a good gut or indigestion on the other, not sure which. Oh wait, last book. This one's a beautiful, I love the cover on this. World-renowned authors. It is not worth very much at all. It's also not in a really good shape, but I love buying books that are more of a statement piece when I can get them cheap. That may not have value as far as, $40, $50. This one's like a $10 book. And maybe not even that in the condition it's in, but it's a great decorator book. So it'll look great on your shelf, however you want to display it. So I picked these up and I'll sell them for, $5 to $10 each as a result of that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed our little book haul. I know I did, and I'm still enjoying it. Like I say, we got quite a few more books that I didn't show you, but I didn't want a 10-hour video. Anyway, catch you guys next time. Bye.